My name is Stephen Donaco. I'm the Director of Programming for Shiftco, and our webinar today is called Using Video to Grow Your Business. And it is my pleasure to introduce our presenter, who's Dr. Chris Lorenz. He's CEO of Slice, which helps high-performing entrepreneurs make their vision become reality by focusing on the right areas in their business and growing revenues. Chris believes that every entrepreneur has the power to create their successful business when working hard and smart in combination with the right mindset, digital processes, and prospect strategies in place. Chris's personal goal is to positively impact as many people as possible while learning and growing together with his clients and making a huge impact. So Chris, welcome to the webinar, and thanks for your contribution to Shiftco today.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here, and wishing you a wonderful day. And to jump right in, we'll have a couple of topics that we cover today. We've categorized it in 4 different areas. A small little intro on a general problem that we see when discussing with our clients and partners when it comes to using video in today's world and into today's social virtual world. And then diving into a couple of goals, as we always call them, when understanding the effect that these problems have. How can we find a solution that is really time and cost effective, in particular for small business owners, also medium-sized businesses that want to leverage video, yet want to leverage it in the best ways when it comes to capacity efforts. Then we'll look into a couple of stats. I just brought a couple. There are so many out there, but I just brought a couple to bring in some interesting numbers up to date. And then also a couple of action items. So the goal is to give also some insights on a couple of tools that our clients use, that we leverage together with our clients, that you can use basically right away and test out, play around with, and maybe find the right ones for you. So let's get started with everything that is around visibility, that we define as, well, visibility equals growth when it comes to video. And I mean, there's so many ways to leverage video today. And the issue is, we have, as business owners, so much on our table, yet the question is, okay, how do we leverage video in the best way with the right focus and not too detail oriented and not too much at stake, right? So how can we reduce production cost when it comes to video? How can we use editing tools that help us bring or publish video fast, maybe even on a daily basis? Maybe without freelancers, maybe without a video agency, because yeah, we just want to go very, very fast. So one question, obviously, happy to see your answers in the chat, yes or no. Who of you is already leveraging video currently in any sense in your business? All right, so we got a couple of hands up here. We got a couple of answers in the chat. Now, let me ask you this. Who is leveraging video currently on a daily basis? So that is the question here, right? Because in general, the problem that we have is that we don't have that much time. We have 24 hours a day. We have so much going on with the business, so many channels that we need to address, emails, social media, Snapchat, TikTok, I don't know, it's like overwhelming. So there's just not that much time there. And the issue is that when it comes to going towards video in the right way, we always have an issue on the budget investment, right? So how much does it cost us? So these 2 questions usually bring us to the conclusion that, well, we put it aside for a moment, we focus on other things, and that may get lost a little bit, or we just kind of do it a couple of times. So how can we basically bring a system in place that helps us utilize video production, post-production in a consistent, yet effortless way. Because when we don't do it, there are basically two major issues that we see. And this is what we see when either discussing with potential clients or partners. These are real significant issues. Whereas one, when we do not have that much visibility, and visibility we sense as nowadays video, right? When we don't have that much visibility, well, others have it for us, and that results in potentially us not having as many leads, potential business partners, potential clients as we could have, or even a decrease because others are taking over, right? It's all about trust building with your audience, with your followers. And well, what better way is there than video? And in that sense, what can video do too? Video can do audio, video can do text with the right tools. We can even do it the other way around. Text can do video. We'll look into this in a moment. So that can become a highly efficient tool for us to leverage together with all the other business efforts that we conduct. One key word that will have most probably crossed all of you yet is the word micro-content. So the question of when we have so many channels, when we have so much to do on a daily basis, and our attention spans basically are reduced on a daily basis, how can we adapt with whatever we put out or publish towards that perception of our audience? One key is enhancing frequency, reducing length of everything that we do. So basically, micro snippeting video, audio, everything that we push out as content as short as possible, yet increasing the frequency. The benefit when we go that path is not only that we have a higher probability of engagement with our audience, it also drives algorithms on the respective channels that we're on. Obviously, as we're all business owners, I will put a slight emphasis today on LinkedIn. And a couple of these aspects can be also derived for other social media. Yeah, and I'm happy also to address questions after today's session. But with respect to time, LinkedIn is a little bit in the focus today. And in particular on LinkedIn right now, LinkedIn is from a development stage like where Facebook was 5 years ago. So when you push video on LinkedIn with the right content, LinkedIn loves that. They want you to do that. They push that. They need video content for so many millions of accounts that are on LinkedIn on a daily basis. So they push you in front of everyone without a lot of cost, right? Google, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a quick question from Teresa in this chat because it's relevant to this. So is length, she asks, is length reduction effective on YouTube, or is this what you're talking about now in reference to LinkedIn only?
So that is in particular to platforms such as LinkedIn. YouTube can be leveraged actually as vehicle after the micro content is capturing the audience. So for example, and I'll have an example in the end, but I'm happy to address that now. Let's say you have a small little snippet on LinkedIn with a link then to a longer version of that content. The snippet is felt like a trailer, like a small little teaser about you, your personality, the topic that you speak about. So to capture the eyeballs, to capture the interest of your audience, to then say, oh, that person is interested to understand a little bit more about that. So there is a longer version. It may be a YouTube video that is maybe 20 minutes long, maybe even longer, right? So actually, and that is actually an important point just to mention that I saw that on a couple of profiles just when screening who's in the session. You always want to upload videos directly on LinkedIn, and then maybe in the comments connect with a YouTube link. You would not want to create a link to the YouTube video directly, because LinkedIn doesn't like that. LinkedIn wants to push their own platform. So whatever content you post on LinkedIn, upload it directly. Okay, hope that answers the question. Now, the second thing about it is, let's take that YouTube video example. If you have 20 minutes of video, well, you can chop that up into a couple of small little sessions that you can push out as teasers on a daily basis. Because think about it, not everyone will see every post that you post, just a fraction of your followers. So you increase the likelihood and the probability of the audience to not only look at it, but also engage with it even more, and then wanting to know more. So indirectly, you push your YouTube video as well. So you can go faster, you can increase the frequency with that kind of micro content. And again, you can repurpose that content. A video snippet is already, an audio snippet is already a small little text. Now, and I won't go into too much detail today on that part, and we'll share also a link at the end of the session. But when we look into the question of, well, Chris, what kind of content can we produce? What would you suggest, right? What works? So when it comes to producing content, if you are kind of new and starting with that, right? The easiest way to start with producing your first topics or your first content is not to think about sales, not to think about anything else, but documenting what you do in your business on a daily basis. This has been proven to work very, very well. So basically use your smartphone, record yourself, speak into a couple of thoughts, and just document. That helps your audience to then understand how you operate, understand you as a personality, but also your authenticity and the angle how you approach your business. So it is highly engaging. And in particular on LinkedIn as well, it is a business platform, so you obviously always want to speak about your business, around your business. Yet if you do it in such a personal, authentic way, it usually drives lots of engagement and the opportunity to connect with you. So a couple of stats. I'll try to make it as exciting as possible. I just want to bring a hockey stick. I mean, this is obvious, but what we see is, and this has been driven through COVID even further, is that there has been a huge increase in video. And what we can tell is that by next year, we'll have over 80% global IP traffic being video. So everyone who's not yet thinking about this or thinking about how to leverage this on a daily basis, these are the numbers that we see in the market. And the second number that we see is obviously a huge increase in mobile. So everything that we do, or lots of things that we do mobile. So how does a HD video, 20 minutes long, if it's not a Netflix movie or series, how does that look like on a mobile in comparison to a laptop with these new habits of viewing videos, of engaging with videos? These are the questions we want to at least ask ourselves, because in the end, that will also give us an understanding of what we may be missing, what potential is lost in our business. An interesting stat, this is all across the online platforms, is basically almost everyone watches videos with sound off. That's interesting. So how do we leverage video in a way that if the sound is off, we still bring across the message? %50 rely on closed captions. So that is basically what we see now, obviously, like standardized almost on all the platforms, that engaged users are watching video sound off on the train, wherever, and then basically leveraging the closed captions. In the real sense of the word, it could capture an eyeball, yet also the interest, because you see what this person, for example, if one of you shared an insight on your business, what you are actually speaking about, what you're documenting, without even hearing your voice, but seeing you acting, understanding, okay, this is the topic they're speaking about, I'm interested in that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yeah, that 92%, and you can just save it for later. I'm really curious about that 92% of consumers watch videos with the sound off. And this is on social media, correct? Is that what we're talking about on social media? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so is it that because it automatically plays and they're just not paying attention to it? Do we know anything more about that statistic? And if the question is boring, feel free to just say, too boring, move on. I won't be offended.
It's a great question. So basically, yes, we have the autoplay. Then we have the videos themselves already presented in a way that you don't need the audio. So for example, text jumping in with a stat or a headline jumping in that explains the pictures, the images. And the images basically are just like the underlying music, the soundtrack in the background, just kind of giving a context. But the text itself or kind of repeats the context, so you don't need the sound. This is kind of the way how it goes, right? And then obviously, at some point, lots of users then do tap into the sound in case there's something missing. But that is the stat, right? So if we don't have text on the video, if you don't have a capturing headline or closed captions that address the topics, well, that's something that we want to address in our video strategy. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. And with that being said, what we can see here is that LinkedIn currently, from a kind of popularity of channels for video publishing, is currently on place 3 already in the setup when we compare it to Instagram and others. So there's a huge opportunity for all of us to leverage LinkedIn right now when it comes to sharing your personality, sharing your authenticity, sharing insights on your team members that will give your audience an understanding of who you are. Because in the end, we're in the business, but we're in a people's business, no matter in which business we are at the moment still. So we're operating with people. So we want to engage with them. We want to understand them. We want to build trust there. And LinkedIn is currently very organic driven still. So they drive your content and they drive it 10x, 15x as opposed to text. So whenever you post something on LinkedIn, it's text. Remember, if it was video, even if it's a 10 seconds video, it will likely be shared and kind of pushed towards your audience 20x. Yeah, we'll see that stat in a second.
And Chris, and I think you addressed this in your comment a moment ago, but it's in the chat, so I want to bring it up here. Anne had asked, if we're documenting what we do, how will that make sense if there's no audio? Which I think you answered, but I don't know if you wanted to add any more color to her specific question.
Yeah, of course. So first way to do it is we put text on the video. So for example, a standing headline that will address a specific topic that you address in the video, and then closed captions that move basically with what you say. With these two mechanisms, you increase the likelihood of the user who is engaged to, once they see what you're speaking about, to then tap on sound to actually hear it, and then to move on to a longer version of the content. Did this answer the question?
Yeah, and if you want to chime in,
thank you.
there you go. Thanks. All right, thank you, Chris.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Now, when it comes to LinkedIn in particular, we see a slight decrease from 92 to 80, but still it's 80. So one strong recommendation that we give all of our clients, and where our clients see a significant uplift in the engagement, is to start off with closed captions on all videos and a headline, strong headline. Now, when you get to a point where we have that system in place, where you regularly adapt closed captions and headlines and you see that traction, then you obviously want to vary that up a little bit. So, for example, then may be also having a video without closed captions for authenticity reasons, to just be like very, very lean. But that's like in the second step. We first want to kind of help ourselves with the stats, make sure that we're up and running with the stats, and then becoming creative, so to speak. So to rephrase that a little bit, for everyone here in the group, there may be slight angles to modify the standard approach, right? Depending on how active you are on LinkedIn, how many followers you have, and what you already conduct as publishing. And that obviously connects with all the other social and online activities that you do. Yeah, this has been addressed already. The question of, well, if everyone listens silent, well, the videos themselves have already been adapted towards that, to have text and captions on them. And it's basically simple, as we all know it. When we're on mobile, scrolling through the feed, it's like milliseconds of eyeball reactions that we have, right? So obviously a strong text or a strong color at least will help us become slower in the scrolling process, and then maybe capturing a strong word that connects to your business to then hold and look what this is about, right? And that's all a process of milliseconds. So this is kind of where we come from when speaking about micro content. I'll just let that stand for a moment, and for us to digest. I as well, I need to, and that's even, I think, a stat from 2020, so it may even be more this year. All right, ready for a little action. Let's look into what we can do kind of with a couple of tools, and happy to address a couple of further ones. I have, in the end, a QR code. We can connect on LinkedIn, and feel free to reach out. We can give you more information and more kind of curated list of amazing tools that you can leverage as a selection. And today I will just be covering a couple of them with respect of time. And the first thing, I think, when it comes to leveraging time in the best way possible, let us think about our first introduction round today. It was amazing. I mean, all of you had a quick intro into who you are, what you do with your business, and that was basically 20 to 30 seconds long, right? And it was basically giving us a sense of, hey, is this interesting to me from a business perspective? Can this person help me, etc., right? So what LinkedIn rolled out, and it may not be on all of your profiles yet, it's not on everyone's profile yet, but what LinkedIn rolled out in the past quarters is a video pitch on your own profile. So when you go on your profile, you have the ability to record a 30 seconds pitch on what it is you do and your business. So I mean, everyone who will look at your profile, which is a strong representation of you and your business, will be able to, at first glance, click on the image. Just need to check the mouse here. Click on this image, and it will expand to a large screen and will basically tell us what Eva, in this example, has produced as a 30 minutes introduction into herself and her business. So whoever has this option, I would strongly encourage you to leverage this. It's a great entry point to introduce you on a very personal level. And it's been shown from our side, when we look in the data with our partners, great success in basically wanting to tap the message button right here and engage in a conversation, right? So in this case here on mobile, you can see you don't even need to scroll. You just tap the profile image, you look at the pitch, and you can message, right? So in that case, if that fits here, we don't even scroll down. Who has out of curiosity, and I mean, feel free to jump in here, who has already tried this feature or who has seen it on their profile and would be interested to try this one out? Which you can always change that, obviously, right? You can re-record it on the next day.
Well, Chris, how do we know it's available? Like, how does it come up for us?
Yeah, so when you go on your profile, you have to go on it on your mobile phone. You go on your profile, you tap on your profile image, and then it comes up and it tells you record a 30 seconds video or something like that. So it basically shows you right away if you have the option yet or no, but it will definitely come. So it's basically a matter of days, maybe weeks. So you can try that out. And then if you have the option, you can record. It's like on every other video smartphone app, you just press record and go in.
Yeah, so it's available on the LinkedIn on the mobile app. So you actually have to have the LinkedIn app, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes,
There.
that is correct.
Look.
Yeah, and Teresa's showing
Wonderful.
it on hers. Yeah.
Yep, just click on the banner. Cool.
And is that Chris? Do you know if that's available to everyone, or would that be only for premium members?
So LinkedIn has rolled out a couple of new features the past couple of months or quarters. So there's been lots going on, lots of new members. So they usually, such a feature, they usually don't roll out instantaneous for everyone, but they try it out in certain markets. So I'm aware that in the US, it's been rolled out to a large extent, but it still hasn't kind of shown on everyone's profile. But it's supposed to be on everyone's profile basically ASAP. So yeah. you just want to check it out. It may be associated to premium. I must say I would have to get back to you with that question. Not 100% sure if it's linked to the premium, as I've been premium member from the beginning. So I don't know that differentiation, if that could be a limit, but yeah, I don't think so.
And Anne just answered that question in the chat. She says, I don't have premium, but do have the option. So it sounds like it's not limited. Yeah, thanks, Anne.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. All right. Now, Loom is a great other tool. Loom is a screen sharing software where you can not only share your screen when explaining something maybe about your business or whatever, yet you can also bring in yourself as a bubble. I'll show an example in a moment. And the beauty about this is that if you share this with, for example, and now I'm going more into a direct conversation potentially with the prospect or with a potential business partner, you will see exactly what this person that you shared this video with will engage on the video. So you'll see stats on how long have they viewed it. They can engage on the video right away, so they can add comments or questions in the video. And it is a beautiful tool to have a connected conversation without being in a Zoom call live synchronous as we are right now. But it's heavily engaging. So that's a great tool, and we'll share that also with you after the session today. An example of how this can look like in this case, I've just brought a quick intro of a presentation. So this is a screen recording where on the right-hand lower side, you see an image of the person speaking. That image can be enhanced, it can be taken fully away, but it can give you some creativity on, engaging as a person. So let us look into this example for a second.
Hi, I'm Naomi with Slice. I know sometimes it's hard to ask for help, but let's chat about why it's so important to ask and what to do afterwards. What is it about asking for help that makes it hard for so many people to do? Maybe we feel uncomfortable asking. And so on and so forth. So it drives some engagement, and would you agree it's a difference to a text-based email, for example, right? And the beauty about it is when you watch it on the platform, you don't need an account as the viewer who's been shared with. You can engage with comments or thoughts or questions that you will receive and you can answer to. So it's an amazing tool. It's also being used for publishing, obviously, but it's also a great tool for one-to-one conversations. There's another one. If you recall, we spoke about audio is text and vice versa. So this is a platform, it's called Synthesia, where if you'd like to try it and give it a twist, and you're really, really good in copy, you'll just write down a text, an article, a blog, a post on text, upload it to the platform, choose a presenter that is all AI driven here that will present your text. You can do that in 3 easy steps, and then you'll get your video with the spokesperson. So basically, as they put it here, video production reinvented. It's a new software, AI driven, really, really smart tool, and clients and partners see this a great tool to leverage video production with a different angle. Another tool is called Pictostory. Let us take today's meeting. It's some content that we may take out of it, right? As small little snippets. So this platform enables us to take today's recording and upload it here, or maybe upload another video. It will be transcribed. We can look onto it, and we can have the platform basically create small little snippets with closed captions on them, and with a logo even, and stuff like that, and you can share it instantaneously. So for example, if there is content you have, this is an amazing tool to fast edit material without needing any tools of editing, Adobe Premiere or something like that. You don't even need anyone who's well versed in video editing or something like that. You just take that tool and done.
And Chris, what's that one called again?
So that is Pictostory, and I will have the list of tools that are in this presentation, plus a couple of more shared with all of you. So you'll have the links to the platforms. Most of them they're very cost efficient, and most of them have a free trial. So all of them that are mentioned here, you can jump on for a couple of days, try them out, find the best fit for you. And then basically, if you like it, you can continue with it. And if you don't, you switch to another one.
And Chris, let me go back to an earlier point you made, because you said that, it's best to directly upload the video to LinkedIn, for instance. Yeah. So are these tools, so there's sharing capability, but that's not necessarily direct upload if it's being served from some other server, right? So do these tools allow you to download the yes. actual video to upload? Okay.
Yes, that is correct. So all the tools allow download. So you will download the video and then take the video and independently upload it to whichever platform you want to utilize it in. Yes. There's another one, it's called Subtitle. It's a similar way, but let's imagine you have a couple of short videos already that you want to leverage. You put them on the platform,
that platform automatically transcribes what is being said. You can put a headline on it, you can put closed captions on it, and you can vary the design. So the design here is not the design that you will get anyhow. You can align it towards your business CDCI. Very easy to use, very efficient. We use it, our clients use it, and it's really, really a great tool to leverage. It also enables downloads. You can add a logo from your company, and these kind of videos, although we may agree, okay, the design kind of aesthetic approach here is not in the focus, but these kinds of videos drive significant engagement and traction towards you. So this is the data that we can connect to these kind of videos. Now, in any case, the general approach towards when you work on video is to have a mixture of different styles. That is anyhow the approach, right? So we're just looking at one facet. Couple of examples. Now, this is a 45-minute video that we have snippeted down and chopped down and basically extracted shorter versions where there's a key moment of description, and it's been closed captions added in a 16:9 horizontal format. And then for mobile, it's very attractive to have the square format on the right with a headline and closed captions.
He said, "Oh yeah, my name's Brian." Oh, the guy I hung up on. Please, I've got to get on the plane. I've got a client on the plane. I'm meeting another one.
Now, there's another example where you can see here, it's only a 15 seconds clip. This version with some of our clients have been tremendous in engagement. So even think about like the smallest time frame that you can leverage. If it is a valuable message that you bring, it can really significantly help you drive traffic. Now, this is a little bit like a text overlay. It's not a closed caption. It's more a text overlay that displays the key message in that clip.
Blood pressure went down. That is positively outrageous, isn't it?
So obviously, what we can sense is a 15-second clip such as here, or the small little fraction I've just shown, stands a little bit off context, right? So obviously the headline will drive eyeballs, the snippet will drive some engagement about this person, and then we usually on all social media platforms have a copy or a context copy attached to it. So some kind of text that frames the context. Now, when we have this combination, this is the key to driving engagement. And again, if you have a 10 minutes video and you see this short time frame, you can see how easily you can, in a very effortless manner, can set up video material almost on a daily basis if you want to, with not much time investment and not much budget investment. I want to show you another version because I emphasized audio, where here we have a kind of a hybrid between video and audio. So let's assume, well, today we've recorded some video, it was quite okay, but we don't like the video, but we like the audio. All right, let's leverage the audio. We put a logo on this so-called audiogram, and we put the audio on it and the closed captions on it, and ta-da, it's a video. It will drive traffic, but it's audio based.
And to ask the right questions, to probe and dig and isolate and test.
And with certain tools, you can easily adapt
ask
designs.
the right questions to probe and dig and isolate and test hypotheses.
Yeah, so these are kind of ways to, that's just another example of a design, but these are kind of ways to leverage video as audio And this tool here, we'll share it on the list, is basically as easy as that. You upload the file and the system does the rest, basically. Got to do some tweaks, but that's basically it. And the designs is up to you. What do you think about that version or that format?
You're getting a lot of really positive comments in chat on this stuff, Chris. So that you're shedding light on things that are new to us, which is great.
That's wonderful. And let me give you a thought here as well. So what we see sometimes, even from a data perspective, is that, for example, this one here, this audiogram version performs even better as opposed to video. What we see as well is if we combine these different formats and now think about your timelines, it varies up. It gives a design enhancement in the sense that your audience sees, wow, they're on a podcast. So these kind of audiograms are usually associated with podcasts, right? So our podcast, and he's got some video, and she's working on, she's like kind of having some certain headlines in there. So there's like kind of different designs, different formats. You saw here, it's a square format. You saw 16:9. Obviously, most of the tools drive story format. So the LinkedIn also has story format. Instagram has story format. Snapchat, obviously, TikTok. So all these tools drive that format as well. And it's just with a click of a button. You don't need an editor who frames that for you. The tools all have it in place. And this is where the beauty comes in. You select the formats you want. For example, you're not a story person. You do not engage with stories on Instagram and LinkedIn. Leave that out, you focus on square. Leave that out, you focus on horizontal, right? So that is the beauty about these tools. You can even now, when seeing this potential, narrowing it down and focus on the ones that you like most. Because in the end, it also is a way of how you present yourself and your authentic self. There's one last example I wanted to show you for everyone who has a website and everyone who drives significant business or prospect conversations over their website. Now, what we all have is live chat functionality maybe, or an engagement contact functionality on our website, right? Now, this year is a tool where you can have a functionality, and maybe you have an ambassador in your team or somebody in your team who loves this kind of way of operating and having a conversation with your prospects or website visitors. It's a tool that you can put on your website with a couple of clicks, not much coding. And what this tool enables you to do is basically have a video conversation with your clients or prospects. So it's basically, and it's Typeform bought in, so it's hugely backed. And the beauty about it is, again, it's a chat where you can, or one of your team members can welcome them personally with a message, and they can answer even via email or audio, audio or video themselves. So that is, for example, another way to have a conversation video driven. As a last kind of closing into this session, obviously everything that we spoke here about can be leveraged on social media. They can be leveraged on LinkedIn in particular. Play around with these formats in mail and messages. I'll share a couple of stats in a moment. Play around with it in your WhatsApp conversations if you do have WhatsApp conversations with your prospects or clients. Utilize it for your podcasts. Maybe some of you on Clubhouse, leverage that. So all this material can be leveraged on one-to-many channels
publishing material, leveraging your website. But now think about direct conversation. When you nurture, when you speak with clients, existing clients or potential new clients, vary it up. Don't send an email, send a video message, send a WhatsApp audio message. So basically the idea is play around with different formats, media formats, small little snippets to find the best that for your particular client, because in the end, obviously every audience is different and every audience prefers different channels. With all these kind of tools that I shared with you, just a couple of numbers. So what we see with our partners is a 15 to 20x view rates increase on LinkedIn, for example. We see an uplift in clicks in emails. So I think the majority of you got yesterday's email from Terry. That was a perfect example with a video thumbnail in the email, basically increasing the clicks on that video. That was a video then, it linked to the video message, increasing minimum 15 to 20% of click rates. So whoever uses a newsletter, highly encouraging. I highly recommend for you to try it out and see what it does to your click rates. Qualified leads increases by 8 to 15%. So qualified leads, not potential prospects, but really qualified. So think about your LinkedIn pitch video, 30 seconds, and just see how many more or who is checking out your profile. In general, some great business growth, because the key here is that with all these formats, you actually gain the probability of the audience checking you out, and at the same time understanding who you are as a person and as an authentic business owner. That is kind of the push here, and leveraged in the right way and tested out a little bit, step by step, it will significantly increase your visibility and understanding of how your clients and prospects engage with you. And at the same time, you will have not that much increased capacities on these topics. Don't do everything, focus on one or two aspects and go in, and then as a couple of takeaways at the end, I like to say video first. Video drives audio, drives text. So when you do video, you are automatically got audio and video. Focus on one or two areas that also I've shared today. Don't do everything. Try one or two things out. Nail them and then move on. And then test, test, test. Validate everything with data, which you can do with these tools. And then throw out things that work, that don't work. Leverage and scale the things that work. And once you have a first small little system, then add another component. And yeah, that's it for today, for this session. And feel free to check out my LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. The QR code links directly to my profile, so we can connect directly. I'm happy to share, again, a curated list of tools. If you have any other questions on particular tools or any kind of customized or personalized issues that you have, feel free to reach out. Happy to answer some questions. And if we do have some time, happy to jump into a Q&A. And
yeah,
if anyone, yeah.
Yeah, please, if anybody's got any questions, we got a few minutes, so Chris is happy to answer.
Yeah, we got a couple of questions already addressed during the session, so that was great. But yeah, let's take some more.
And Chris, is the link you gave me earlier, I could share in the chat. This would be the link to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the link that we are sharing here is when you look into kind of establishing, and lots of you already have it, I could see that, but if you look into kind of couple of small little tools that you can leverage for video production in your home studio. This is kind of a small little list of tools, of great proven tools, and a couple of tips and thoughts of how to kind of set up certain things when it comes to producing video on a kind of high scale perspective. So this is a list of collections there.
And that link, and if you're watching this recording and you're not here live, that link will be in the description of this video. And if you registered for this webinar, that link will be in the follow-up email. Roger had a question that he just put in the chat. Can you talk a little bit about content, some examples of quote unquote, me in my business, as you mentioned?
Can we specify the question a little bit?
Yeah, Roger, why don't you come in?
Yeah, thanks. This is Roger. You had mentioned.
Hi, Roger.
Hey, Chris, thanks for the great presentation. Appreciate these tools and ideas and approaches. I'm sitting here thinking like, well, what am I going to film? You know, you said just turn on your camera and show what you do in your business. And I'm thinking, well, what would that be? Me sitting at my desk working with a client? How do I do this? I'm not sure what the content would be. You know, that's authentic, kind of in the moment, capturing it, you know.
Okay, quick question, Roger. Do you conduct certain meetings with your clients virtual?
Yes.
Like in a Zoom call, for example?
Right.
Okay, so obviously you would in certain cases need their approval, as you would generally just record something, but just put a smartphone on top of your laptop that films you. You record the session and you ask for them to leverage only the parts, for example, in the first stage that you speak. So you do not show the client, you just show you. And then from there, you extract a couple of messages where you believe, or maybe your client showed you, or one of your team members sees, okay, this is a perfect moment where Roger distilled some magic, or you know, came up with a specific strategy that helped the client, which is, if it's not confidential, that could be a perfect view into your daily work with clients and into the way how you tackle certain questions. And the way that you're framing a setup already right now, Roger, that is sufficient enough. And then the next step could be, there may be some clients or partners that are willing to join the recording. So you could record them as well, and then you could have a dialogue there. So that's, for example, one very easy step to take with not much hurdles. The second thing that you can do is play a little bit around, and just in the mornings, for example, stick to a habit of creating a 1-minute video where you explain what you're going to do today, the 3 steps that you will tackle today, one specific for example, ritual, and then do that for yourself. Get familiar with it. Do it a couple of days. Once you're in the flow, record, play a little bit around with it, and then post it as a LinkedIn story. The beauty about it is it's not going to stay there forever, so you can test a little bit. The second beauty about it is you will see directly who is engaged with that content. So we will also be able to kind of derive some insights about, okay, who's actually interested in that.
Nice, good examples. Thank you very much.
Of course.
So Chris, so our hour has gone by very, very quickly. This has been very rich. Thank you so much for this. And I just want to remind everybody that you please attend any and all of our events that you like. Our next event is next Thursday, the 12th. We're going to talk about social media marketing for conscious entrepreneurs. And then on Wednesday, the 25th, we've got meaningful money, aligning purpose with profit. So again, thank you to Chris Lorenz for this really rich presentation. Thank you all for attending. Really, for those of you who are members, we love having you in the community. And for those who are considering it, we'd love to have you join us. So again, thanks everyone, and we'll see you soon.